Creating a back of the book cover can sometimes be a real pain in the ass. So what I'm going to be showing you today is how you can use the Amazon built-in cover creator if you just have like your front of book cover image already done. Because even if you hire freelancers sometimes, especially if you're low budget, you might only have the funds to cover doing the front cover, but I'm going to show you a little workaround here that you can get away with doing the front and back cover by using the Amazon Kindle cover creator. So when you are going inside of your Amazon and you are listing your book details, this is where it's going to be on the second page. It'll be on the paperback content. You don't need a back of book cover for an ebook, so this is just for the paperback. So when you're in here, you'll see paperback content. Again, this is just some dummy stuff that I've thrown together here. But one of the things that you will need to do is make sure that you are setting your trim size, and ideally your trim size should be what you have selected for the cover file that you already had created, so it should be in alignment with that. If it's not, you can change it. Another thing that you want to select here is like your bleed settings. You can either select no bleed or bleed for PDF. So bleed is basically when the images and the design of your file stretch all the way to the end, and that is when you might want to select it is a bleed file that you want for your PDF. And then you can choose, how do you want your cover to come out? Do you want it matte or do you want it glossy? I tend to prefer matte. Some people prefer glossy. This is a personal preference, okay? So the other thing that you need to do is make sure that you have your manuscript uploaded before you can create your cover, because your manuscript determines how many pages are within your book, and that's going to determine if you have space for a spine, and then depending on how many pages are in your book, whether or not your spine has enough space to include text on it. So I'm just going to keep this as simple as possible. I uploaded a dummy book here. I've uploaded a different manuscript just for the sake of showing you this. But you can select, like if you already have a cover, if you have the front, back, and spine already designed, you can choose this upload a cover you already have that is PDF ready, or you can use right here, use the cover creator to make your book cover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit launch cover creator, and I'm going to show the example of this. All right, so this is the cover creator here, and it gives you 3 different steps. Step 1 is you're going to choose your design. Step 2 is you can style and edit it. And step 3 is you preview it. Now, just so you know my take on this tool, I do not love this tool, but I do think that it's helpful when you're in the situation where you did not a back cover design and you just want something to get your book done so you can convert it over to a paperback and list that for sale. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit this continue button. Now, they have a pretty low quality image gallery that's already in there. I'm not going to be showing you this because to me that is just a waste of time. So I'm going to do the one from my computer. Now, I was working on a file the other day, and I think it was this one right here. I was helping one of the students in my school community help her kind of get some cover ideas. So I'm just going to use this as an example. So I'm just going to pull this in, and now it's going to give me a couple ugly designs for the most part. Like the layouts they end up doing for these book covers look really poor. So I prefer to just go with the most standard, right? Like you want your front cover to look good. Like that's what's going to attract people. So I'm going to choose this design. To me, these other ones make absolutely no sense. You don't want to use them. So as long as you have a nice, attractive looking front cover already designed and ready to go, you can import it right here. So I'm just going to check this box to choose this design. Now, I look here and most of it looks good. I do think that this is a little bit stretched out. I don't think it's given me some warning messages here. So when you get these warning messages, you might want to go back into your original file and resize them so that it is a better fit. I believe this is giving me, okay, a quality issue here. The DPI for the quality of printing, it wants me to use a more higher res image. So if you have that issue, you might want to go back to whatever tool you were using, to create the image in the first place and optimize that for improving the DPI, which is dots per inch. So this way it doesn't come out pixelated when your book actually gets printed, because when you see that error, that is a potential issue that your image has because of the compression and the quality of the image. You might want to just go back into your tool, whatever you use to create it, and increase the quality of your export in there. Now for this one here, I might want to go back into my tool and actually adjust it so that the badge that was on this image, don't completely come off the page like this. Or I could just try to move it in a little bit, but I think, you know, you can play around with it, shift it around, resize it, you know. But if you are getting those error messages, just make sure that you are going back and fixing that. Okay, so now that I see what I got here, like some of this stuff doesn't even make sense to me. So if it's something that I don't want, I should be able to take some of that out. And then this is where I could potentially put, this is, well, I'm not going to use this font size, my back of book description. And then, you know, you can select your text here, and then you can say, okay, I probably want like maybe 14 font is looking even really big here. So maybe I'll do a 12-point font. Maybe I can change the font type. You know, you get the idea. And so now this is becoming a book that maybe I want to just have an author picture here that I can put in, and then I can have a basic description. Now, if I wanted this to fit maybe a little better with my cover, instead of a black, you know, background, I should be able to come in here and change the colors. Maybe I want to use a different color, like let's say, where's this at? Maybe it's under the secondary color. Yeah, okay, secondary color. Maybe I want something a little light. Maybe I want it like that. Blends better with the front cover. And then I can just go back here in my description. I can change my font color now to maybe be a black color. I can then come in here. This was the test name of the book that I had put in, but you get the point. You can come in here and change this, change your, you know, your author name, color, and whatever you want. So now that I have this, we can pretend that this was all filled out, but then you can go and hit the preview button, and then it's going to move you through to the next stage. So I'm just going to give this a minute to do the cover builder, which that doesn't look right. Again, this is why I don't actually love this tool. It seems that it's got a box inside of a box, a shadow going on. You don't oh, there we go. Okay, this looks a lot better. So this is what it looks like here. Maybe this is just the preview mode, because when I zoom in, it looks like it's more normalized. So let me see if I can hit this save and submit button and see what that does. Okay. All right, so after I saved, went back and made a couple text modifications, and now you can see it's actually looking a lot better. We're not getting that shadow effect that was there before, so that really wasn't a problem. It was more like a glitch. But this is essentially a quick way that you can make a back of book cover with a description, your author picture, and make it good to go. And so once I would be done, I'm previewing it right now. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to hit this save and submit button. Again, this is just a test. That's why I don't have the description all filled out. That's why, you know, the fonts aren't all in alignment, but just to show you kind of how you can throw this thing together rather quickly. And if you found this helpful, definitely follow along for more helpful author tips.